What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'm actually bringing you a review of Myst by Henri White. I'm just playing with a free deck that Theory 11 sent me, but so the effect is you can produce smoke or mist from liquids or out of your hand. Basically, you just produce smoke, right? That is the general effect, and I'm actually going to show you a quick performance video of me doing it right now. And actually, I did put music in it, so you might love it, you might hate it, but I'm just warning you, there's music in there just because I decided to be dumb. So we'll be right back after this. Alright, so the version that I'm showing you is, you take an empty cup, pour some liquid in there, and then wave your hand over it, and the mist is produced. A couple of the other effects that he does is, just open hand, squeezes the hand, and then smoke appears. And he gives you a couple other tips, but as always, let's start with what I don't like. So they're branding it as for the serious magician. But basically what that means is that this is not, you can't utilize this as a street magician almost at all. There is a slight possibility, if you are very good, that you could use this in front of people, but to produce the smoke, it actually does require a small amount of setup, and it's a setup that cannot be done in front of a spectator. So I don't know. I've seen some people produce smoke from their mouth, and there's those devices that produce smoke from your wrists if they're hitting up your sleeves and that sort of thing. But with the method that he uses, it is next to impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible because you could do it. I can think of like a very few applications for it, but just me messing around here at the house, it took a little bit. And even if you get very good at the technique, it's still, there's a variable in there that is basically out of your control. So I'm a little disappointed in this, if I'm being honest here, because they were charging $9 and it's essentially him telling you a theory. So generally when something's $9 or $10 and it's a instant download, they give you the blueprint to build a gimmick, and then you can do a really cool trick right afterwards, right? This is not like that. It requires setup, and you actually have to it's not a gimmick per se. So I'll just say that you need something to create the smoke, right? So I ended up having to spend an extra $30 to get the device that can do it. And then, it was upwards of $100 to $200 if you got a really good device. So I had to get that. Plus you have to make, I don't want to give away too much, but basically, there's two different things, two different separate pieces that you're going to need to make this effect work. And he just basically tells you, how to go about doing it. But that's a lot for $10. This really should have been a $5 effect because it's a concept. And then for them to say it's for the serious magician only, if you're a street performer, you're still serious. I mean, you're not a stage performer. And on the stage, I could see this working, but it would still require setup. So, you would have to bring something out that was already prepared and then do it in front of them. But like I said, it's next to impossible. I mean, people at Ellusionist, if you happen to see this and you have a video of Henri White performing this live, send it to me, please, so I can see more information on how you would possibly do this in front of a live audience. Other than, if it was set up and then you just did something quick. But, he even mentions in the video that basically it's for like video purposes, like one of the effects. He's like, this would be good for, I think he says like commercials or short videos or something like that. But is the effect cool? Yes. I mean, you saw in the performance video, you can pour liquid into a cup and then still have smoke come out. It is a super cool effect. It's a super cool concept. I just feel like they overcharged for it. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, how are you going to be able to produce the smoke? And I was so intrigued that, they had this huge launch event today for the SWE deck. I'll leave a link in the description to my review of that if you want to check that out. But it was kind of a 4-piece release. So, you know, this was a piece of it that for me, I said, okay, that seems pretty cool. You know, it's a great concept. I want to check it out, and I insta-bought it. And since I'm a Black Club member, I actually had access to it early. So I bought it yesterday, and it took me until today to be able to run out and get the necessary components to make it happen. But, you know, people were mad at Shin Lim when he came out with SSS because he didn't provide a gimmick, and he charged like 30-something bucks, and he just basically gave you instructions. So it's not a terrible price to pay $9, but it was a little off-putting to pay that much for something that's conceptual. I mean, it looks cool. You could do it, but only, to me, I think you could only do it in a video circumstance or a really controlled environment. That said, I mean, it's kind of a big negative. I mean, it's pretty much the only one I have about it was just it's not something that you could just pull out in front of somebody and blow their mind in the street unless you are super clever. So as a theory, though, as a concept working in Magic, I think that you could find applications for this, but more for either a stage performance or just if you're doing like cardistry videos or Magic videos and you just want to add kind of an extra something to them. But I do not feel like this is something that is practical for you to use as part of a routine, especially if you're a street magician. And they even, on the YouTube video that they have, they basically, somebody asked if a street performer could do it, something along those lines, and they pretty much just said no. So I don't know, if you're a street performer, you're a street magician, if you've checked it out, let me know what you think. You know, give me some feedback on how you could possibly utilize this, because, you know, it took me a while just to be able to kind of do it right. And then, you know, there's angle issues if you're going to try to, you know, use your hands to produce the smoke. And in a cup, you're pretty good. I mean, he shows you a routine on how to use water or milk. You can pretty much use any liquid, and then you can still turn it into smoke. But like I said, I'm in a very controlled environment, and that's how I was able to do it. Because there are no spectators. I could take my time, I could set it up, I could do everything. But as far as doing this in front of people, I'm not really sure about that one. Like I said, just send me evidence or let me know how you did it if you were able to do it, because there is something involved that I just feel like you can't do that in front of spectators. So the overall opinion of this, is it worth it? I think it's worth it if you use smoke in your performances and you want to get an idea of how to utilize that smoke differently. But this is not, it's not like pure smoke. It's not like smoke or vapor. It's not something that's actually going to give you the means to do it. It just gives you a theory on how to do it and a concept of, hey, this is how I did it. This is how I pulled it off. Now, you know, he even says the greatest trick hasn't been done yet. Maybe you'll do it. And, you know, I'd like to see that too, because yeah, I'll keep working on it and trying it. You know, this is just my initial review of it. But like I said, it's not difficult, but it's definitely intermediate to professional. I don't think a beginner is going to be able to put this into a routine. A beginner can do it, no doubt, but to actually make this come to life in a performance, I think you'd have to be definitely way on your A game to be able to pull it off. But I don't know. Go check it out. You know, if you bought the download, let me know what your feedback is about it. If you think you can use it, or if you've already used it. I mean, it just came out, so. But you know, some people are eager. Maybe you ran out and did it. I've been just sitting in the house for hours, just working on it and practicing it, and you know, just coming up with an effect that I could show you guys. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And sorry, that was really long-winded, but this is the first time I've actually been like super disappointed in something that I bought from Ellusionist, just because, you know, it seemed like something super cool, and then it basically is just a concept. But I don't know. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And that has been my review of Myst by Henri White and Ellusionist.com. All right, guys. See ya. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right.